Have you noticed your grocery bill creeping up or those everyday essentials costing more than they used to? With new tariffs hitting our supply chains, prices are climbing faster and some things might even be harder to find soon. Today I'm sharing 9 things every family should be stocking up on now before they get even more expensive or they disappear from shelves. And make sure you stick around for number 9 because it's something most families overlook, but it's about to get hit with a 25% tariff. Hey friends, welcome back. If you're new here, I'm so glad you're joining us. Today we're talking about something that's been weighing on my heart as a mom and a homemaker: how to stock up and prepare before prices go even higher. If you've noticed the rising costs already, from groceries to appliances, you're not alone. With new tariffs rolling in, prices are only going to keep climbing, and some things might even be harder to find. So today I'm sharing 9 smart things I'm personally stocking up on for our home. These are items that could be harder to find or way too expensive to afford. Let's jump in and make sure we're ready together. Let's start in the heart of the home, the kitchen. Many small appliances are made overseas or they rely on imported parts, and tariffs are affecting electronics and metal goods. So small appliances are already creeping up in price. Think about what you use daily: your blender, your mixer, your can opener, or maybe your toaster. If there's something in your kitchen that you use a lot and it's getting old, now is the time to replace them before prices jump even more. So think about replacing worn out essentials now, things like blenders, mixers, bread makers, manual can openers, or food processors. Next is cleaning supplies. We might not think about them much until we run out, but many cleaning products, from dish soap to disinfectants, are made with imported ingredients or packaging, and we're already seeing prices go up. Plus, if your home is anything like mine, cleaning supplies disappear fast. Whether it's laundry detergent, toilet paper, or just sponges and gloves, having extras on hand can save you stress later. Buying just one extra bottle or box each time you shop is a really simple, low-cost way to stay ahead. And if 2020 taught us anything, it's that these things can disappear fast during a supply crunch. So stock up on what your family uses most. Things like dish soap, laundry detergent, disinfectants, surface cleaners, sponges, maybe scrubbers and gloves, and also trash bags. And here's a little bonus tip. This might be the perfect time to look into switching to the wellness store, something that I personally use. Most of their products are made in North America, which is a huge advantage, especially with all the global supply chain issues we've seen over the last few years. Plus, they're non-toxic and they carry over 400 items, everything from cleaning supplies to vitamins to pain relievers, essential oils, protein powders, and more. I save money every month, and I love that it supports both our health and our budget. So if you're curious about that, I've linked it down in the description for you. Food is one of the first places we feel the pinch when prices go up. And with the new tariffs already affecting agricultural imports, pantry staples are starting to climb. My husband works in the egg industry, and we're already seeing the ripple effects hitting farmers. This is the time to stock up on long-lasting, versatile foods that you already use in your everyday meals. Things like rice, beans, flour, pasta, and canned goods. These staples can stretch meals, they store well, and they can bring you peace of mind. Even canned tomatoes and basic pasta are creeping up in price, and many of these are either imported or they rely on imported ingredients. So I always recommend starting with a goal of a 90-day food supply. You want to keep it organized, you want to rotate it regularly, and you want to store it in a cool, dry place. And if you need ideas, I've got a video on building a pantry and a pantry tour linked in the description. You can feel free to check those out. And don't forget about the comfort items like coffee and tea. These are imported too, and they're especially vulnerable to tariffs and shipping delays. So if your family depends on that morning cup, it's smart to stock up now. Buy in bulk when you can, store it airtight, and consider shelf-stable creamers and even powdered milk to go with it. I've also linked my favorite freeze-dried food in the description, and it's a great way to build a long-term food storage supply with minimal hassle. And if you choose delivery at checkout, you'll save an extra 15%, and you'll also get free shipping on orders over $99. So stock up smart by focusing on what your family actually eats. That's the key to building a pantry that works. So you want to think shelf stable and also meal stretching. So you want to think rice, oats, pasta, flour, and beans. Also canned meats, soups and beans, and also canned tomatoes, canned veggies and fruits, and then also sugar, salt, and spices. And then also don't forget about baking soda and baking powder, and also powdered milk and creamers, peanut butter, coffee and tea, cooking oils, and then freeze-dried meals like Thrive. And as a mom of growing kids, I always try to think ahead because I know just how quickly they fly through sizes, especially when the seasons change. Most clothing and shoes are imported, and with tariffs hitting textiles hard, we're already seeing prices rise. So to stay ahead of the curve, I like to keep a labeled bin for each child with the next size up. So I like to keep things like everyday clothes, PJs, seasonal gear, especially shoes. And when I spot a good sale, I grab what we'll need down the road. And it saves me from those last minute store runs, and it helps avoid paying full price later. So now a lot can be sourced secondhand, and I love a good thrift find. But there are a few things my kids prefer new, like socks and underwear. So I always try to stash away at least one extra unopened pack in each of their closets. So it's just a simple system, but it's saved me more times than I can count. And it really adds up when prices keep climbing. So try to keep a size ahead bin for each child. You want to keep things like just their everyday wear, coats and boots, PJs and seasonal gear, shoes, and I think most important of all, even if you aren't able to do those other things and you thrift those things, at least trying to keep a pair of extra underwear and socks for each kid. Electronics and school supplies are two categories where we're already seeing prices climb, and they may not drop anytime soon. So whether you homeschool or you just have really tech-loving kids, you want to think ahead. So laptops, tablets, chargers, headphones, and even basic items like printer ink and paper. They're all being affected by the supply chain issues and rising import costs. So if your homeschool setup or your work from home tech needs a little update, now is a great time to upgrade or grab backups while they're still available and reasonably priced. And don't forget the little things like pens, pencils, calculators, and batteries. They may not seem urgent until they run out at the worst possible time. So stocking up now can save you stress and money later. So things to think about are laptops and tablets, chargers and headphones, calculators, printer ink, paper, pens, pencils, and also batteries and power banks. So I'm not encouraging you to buy things that you can afford or that you don't need. Just think about things that you do need and you do have the money to pay for. And don't forget about personal care. So many items like shampoo, deodorant, and razors rely on imported materials or packaging. So if you've got favorites that your family uses every day, stock up while they're still easy to grab. From toothbrushes to razors to shampoo, personal care products are another area that are quietly getting more expensive. So having a few extras on hand makes life smoother and can save you time and money, especially with a big family. And again, if 2020 taught us anything, it's that these things can disappear fast during a supply crunch. So things you want to keep backups of, the everyday stuff, are things like shampoo and conditioner, soap, you want to think bars or liquid, deodorant, toothpaste and toothbrushes, razors and shave cream, feminine hygiene products, and also toilet paper and tissues. And this one's close to my heart because when someone in the family is sick or hurt, you don't want to be scrambling. Think about what your family reaches for when someone's not feeling well. So pain relievers, allergy medications, cold and flu supplies, bandages, rubbing alcohol. So many of these things are made overseas or they rely on imported ingredients, and we've already seen prices creeping up. So I like to keep a clear bin stocked with all of our go-to items. So when something comes up, I can take care of it without making a late night store run. It brings so much peace of mind knowing that it's all there and ready to go. And another thing that I've added to our kit and something I highly recommend is a Jace Case. It's a compact emergency supply of prescription antibiotics that you can order through Jace Medical. It includes 5 essential antibiotics that cover a wide range of common infections, and they walk you through a simple online consult with a licensed medical provider, and it ships right to your door. I love having this as a part of our preparedness plan because when you're a mom and you want options and you want to be able to take care of your people no matter what. So you can check that out. The link is in the description if you want to learn more about Jace Case, and I'll include my link down there for you. And if you can't tell, I have a cold right now, and so things you want to think about before you need them are pain relievers, cold and flu medicine, allergy meds, antiseptics like rubbing alcohol or hydrogen peroxide, Band-Aids and gauze, thermometers, personal prescriptions when possible, and also the Jace Case for emergency antibiotics. And these things might not be flashy, but they're incredibly valuable if you ever need to make repairs or keep things running smoothly, especially during shortages or supply chain delays. So think about what you'd want on hand if you couldn't run to the hardware store. So think about hardware basics like screws, nails, nuts, bolts, and even extra tool blades or drill bits. And also think things about like super glue or epoxy or caulking, and even plumbing tape, fittings, and sealant. And then think about tape. And yes, all the tape. So duct tape, electrical tape, plumbing tape, and even hockey tape, because we use that actually a lot to fix things or wrap things. And also think about home maintenance essentials. So things like light bulbs, air and water filters, and then also emergency light and powers. So batteries, all of the different sizes that you might need for like your smoke alarms and all your electronics, and then flashlights and headlamps, and also candles. And then fuel storage. Think about the things you use like maybe propane, gasoline, kerosene. You want to store these within local guidelines, and you want to store them safely. Reliable light and repair supplies are essential in any emergency disruption. So a well-stocked bin of these little items can save big headaches when you need them most. Okay, number 9. This is one most people don't think about until something breaks, but it's so important. Vehicle parts and maintenance supplies. With a 25% tariff hitting imported vehicle parts, prices are already climbing and delays are likely. So if you have an older vehicle or even a newer one that's due for routine maintenance, now's the time to grab basics like oil, filters, wiper blades, brake fluid, and brake pads. Because if you do your own maintenance, you want to think ahead about what your vehicle might need in the next few months. So this category tends to sneak up on you. And once something breaks, it's often urgent and expensive. So it's a whole lot easier and cheaper to prepare now than to be stuck waiting when something goes wrong. And here's a bonus tip. You want to keep a roadside emergency kit in your trunk. So with jumper cables, tire repair kit, flashlight, and a blanket. It's just a simple way to stay safe and self-reliant, especially if parts or help just aren't immediately available. So with a 25% tariff, higher costs are coming. So think about things like motor oil and filters, wiper blades, brake pads, fuses and bulbs, air filters and even cabin filters, and then just basic fluids like washer fluid and coolant, and then tires. We just recently, like last week, had to buy some new tires, and we also have restocked our oil and filters in our garage because we try to do most of that kind of maintenance ourselves. I know it can feel overwhelming, but you don't have to do everything at once. No need to panic. Just be wise. A little preparation now can ease a whole lot of stress later. Start right where you are. Walk through your home and jot down the things your family uses every day. The simple, practical items that keep life running smoothly. Then pick 1 or 2 categories and start building up slowly. Even small, steady steps can make a big difference down the road. And because at the end of the day, preparing is really about caring, making sure your home is a place of peace and provision, no matter what's happening outside. The power to care for your family in uncertain times starts with the simple choices today. If this video helped you, tap that like button and share it with another mom. And make sure you're subscribed for more practical homemaking tips. And let me know in the comments, what's one category you're focusing on right now? I'd love to hear in the comments because we can learn so much from each other. And if you're wondering how to get started without breaking the bank, check out this video where I show you how to build a budget-friendly pantry. You're doing better than you think, and I'm cheering for you every step of the way. You've got this.